Welcome to Mental Models Daily, where we explore one mental model each day to help you elevate your daily decision-making. Today, we're delving into a concept that's becoming increasingly relevant in our digital world: dark patterns. Dark patterns are user interface design choices that manipulate or trick users into making decisions they might not otherwise make. These designs intentionally confuse users, make things difficult, or trick people into taking actions that benefit the company rather than the user. The term dark patterns was coined in 2010 by Harry Brignall, a UK-based UX designer and cognitive scientist. Brignall created darkpatterns.org, a website dedicated to exposing these deceptive practices after noticing a trend of manipulative designs across the web. While the practices themselves have existed for much longer, particularly in traditional marketing and sales, the digital age has provided new avenues for their implementation and has made them more pervasive. It's like a digital sleight of hand, where instead of entertaining magic, the trick leaves you subscribed to services you didn't want or sharing more personal data than you intended. Let's look at some examples to better understand this concept. Have you ever tried to cancel a subscription online, only to find that the cancellation button is hidden or the process is unnecessarily complicated? That's a dark pattern called Roach Motel, where it's easy to get into a situation but hard to get out of it. Another common dark pattern is the misdirection, where the design purposefully focuses your attention on one thing to distract you from another. Think of those times when you're about to complete an online purchase and there's a pre-ticked box signing you up for marketing emails. It's like a digital magician drawing your eye to one hand while the other is picking your pocket. In the business world, dark patterns are often employed to boost short-term metrics like sign-ups, sales, or data collection. However, their use is increasingly being recognized as unethical and potentially illegal in some jurisdictions. Companies that prioritize ethical design and user trust are moving away from these practices. It's like choosing between being a trickster for quick gains or a trusted advisor for long-term success. So how can we apply the concept of dark patterns in our daily lives? Firstly, awareness is key. By understanding that dark patterns exist, we can become more vigilant consumers. When navigating websites or apps, take a moment to consider if the design is genuinely user-friendly or if it's subtly pushing you towards certain actions. It's like developing a sixth sense for digital trickery. Secondly, we can apply this knowledge to our own work and communication. If you're involved in any kind of design or marketing, consider the ethical implications of your choices. Are you making things clear and easy for your users or customers? Or are you employing subtle tricks to boost your metrics? It's like choosing between being a magician who reveals their tricks or one who uses them to deceive. Lastly, we can use our awareness of dark patterns to advocate for better design practices. This might mean providing feedback to companies about their user interfaces, supporting regulations against deceptive design, or simply sharing our knowledge with friends and family to help them navigate the digital world more safely. It's like being a guide in the sometimes treacherous landscape of the internet. In conclusion, understanding dark patterns helps us become more discerning digital citizens. By recognizing these deceptive design practices, we can make more informed decisions online, create more ethical designs ourselves, and contribute to a more transparent digital ecosystem. In a world where our lives are increasingly entwined with digital interfaces, awareness of dark patterns is like having a flashlight in a dimly lit room. It helps us see clearly and avoid the traps. Thank you for joining me today on Mental Models Daily. Until next time, may your interfaces be clear, your choices be informed, and your digital experiences be free from dark patterns. For more mental models, please visit mentalmodelsdaily.com or find us on X or Instagram. Our podcast music was provided by the podcasthost.com and Alitu, the podcast maker. Find your own free podcast music over at thepodcasthost.com/free music.